Hey, what's going on, folks? It's Creative Duelist here, representing Team FDK, and I've been making decks creative since 2016. Welcome, folks. Today, I'm here with my Melodious deck profile. I do apologize for not uploading anything. Again, our team is kind of going under kind of our own issues, but we are trying to pump out content as as regular as possible. But anyway, I figured I'd make it up, come at you folks with my Melodious deck profile. I've got pretty much majority of the cards I need for the build, but I'll talk over a few things as I go along with the deck profile. Also, before I start, make sure you like the video, comment down below to give us your feedback, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to Team FDK, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more content, and of course, check out the links in the description. We have a Patreon, so if you folks would like to pledge, please check out our Patreon. If you folks cannot do Patreon, we have PayPal. That is also fine. If you'd like to support us on an occasion level, please check out the link in the description and you can tip us. All of that is optional and it's not mandatory. Also, we are sponsored by Inked Gaming. So if you folks would like to get your 10% discount on anything you purchase through Inked Gaming, whether that be mats, keyboards, and dice and mouses, please put in hashtag Team FDK 10. So make sure you put Team FDK 10 to get your 10% discount off anything you purchase. So take advantage of that little little 10% discount. So happy shopping. So let's get on with the deck profile, folks. Starting off with the monster lineup, I've got the triple area, the Melodious Diva. So let me zoom that in for you folks so you can see that. So basically, when she's special summoned on the field, Melodious monsters you control cannot be targeted by card effects or be destroyed by battle. So what a cool thing you can do if you special summon both of them, I believe, it kind of creates a lock. So it makes it very difficult for your opponent to, thwart your field, especially when you get the Melodious fusions on the field. We got the triple Sonata, the Melodious Diva. So if you control a Melodious monster, you can special summon her from your hand, and while this special summon card is on the field, she buffs all your fairy monsters attacks by 500, and also buffs the defense as well. So if you have Hippo Shinigami and you have her on field, everything gains. She makes basically those two together make all the fairy monsters gain 1,000 attack and defense, which is pretty strong. Very nice. And we got the double cannon or canon. If you control a Melodious monster, you special summon her from your hand. You can only summon her once per turn this way, unfortunately. I wish you could summon her multiple times through that method. But anyway, once per turn you can target one Melodious monster you control and switch its battle position. Very important, especially with area. So if you bring out area in attack position, so say if you do because we play ties, so if you bring out, you do ties of the brethren, and say for example your opponent tries to attack into your area, you can just use Cannon's effect just to switch the area into defense, or you can switch one of your Melodious monsters or your fusions, depending on the situation. It's up to you. So that's what makes her really good in that aspect. We've got double Solo. Solo, the Melodious songstress. If your opponent controls a monster and you control nothing or no monsters, you can special summon her from your hand, and when she destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, when she is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you get to summon a Melodious monster from the deck, which is pretty cool. You can bring out even the higher level ones, so like the level 5 and the level 8. So Solo's really good in those aspects. I used to play 3 of this, but I cut it down because it was a little bit excessive. So 2 is just a right number for me. Then we play the double soprano, the Melodious songstress. She's like a polymerization in the flesh, which is pretty cool. But basically, when she's special summoned, you get to target a Melodious monster in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. So she's like a reinforcement of the army when she's special summoned. And once per turn, you can fusion summon one Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control. and of course including herself. Unfortunately, you can't. Don't think you can use. You can't send them from your hand, which kind of sucks. But she's not too bad. She's still a decent polymerization. And we got double Serenity, the Melodious Diva. What I like about Serenity is that Serenity is that she can be treated as two tributes for a tribute summon of a fairy monster, so you can just summon your Archlord Christia very easily, or your Athena, or any of the higher level fairy monsters. But basically, after she's special summoned to your side of the field, she nets you a double summon. She allows you to normal summon one Melodious monster from your hand, in addition to your normal summon set, which is pretty cool. That's why I like to play 2 copies of her. And then I've got the one Elegy. Special summoned Melodious monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card was special summoned, all fairy type monsters you control gain 300 attack. Again, just it's a nice attack boost, and the protection. Again, you can create a lock with this deck, which is pretty cool. One score, but basically during damage calc in either player's turn, if a Melodious monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, change that opponent's monster's attack and defense to 0 until the end of the turn, which is pretty decent. So she's a hand trap in a sense. And that's going to round up the whole like small Melodious monster lineup. I'm going to talk about the big ones in a second, but I'm going to go over a few things. So we've got the double barrier statue of heavens. Again, this card's amazing, especially with because we play ties. Ties works really well with this, and of course it's a Vanity's Emptiness in the flesh. And of course, what kind of Melodious deck would this be, and what kind of light attribute deck would this be without Honest? You know, you gotta play 2 Honest. Honest always keeps your opponent guessing. Then we got the one Shafina. Apologize, it is misprinted, which is pretty hilarious. But her effect is mediocre, but once per turn you can target one light fairy monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And you can't activate any, you can't activate non-light monster effects during the turn you activate the effect, which isn't too bad because majority of the deck is light anyway. And then we got the one Mazala. Mazata. She's pretty decent, probably the decent one of the Melodious boss monsters. So basically, once per turn, you can special summon one light fairy monster from your hand. You cannot special summon other monsters the turn you activate that effect except light monsters. So she could literally just, if you have an Archlord Christia in hand, you can just bring it out for nothing. Especially if you come into a situation where you can't get enough fairy monsters in grave. Speak of the Devil, or the Speak of the Angel. Archlord Christia, just 1 copy. It can brick. That's why I only just play 1 of it. It's just a nice little tech to play. And of course I just play the one Athena, because she's pretty nice as well. So that's going to round up the whole monster lineup, folks. Okay, onto the spells. I play the triple Ties the Brethren. Pretty standard again. You bring out Barrier Statue and the other Melodious monsters, you're in a very good situation. And we've got triple Transmodify. Transmodify again, for the again, just a level climb into the Melodious monsters. Transmodify is very important to play. Then we've got the triple Ostinato. It's kind of like, it's basically not, I don't really like this fusion spell. It's not my favorite, but basically, if you control no monsters, you can fusion summon one Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck. What kind of sucks is that you have to control no monsters. Using 2 monsters from your hand or from your deck as fusion materials, so it's kind of like a Shaddoll fusion, which is pretty decent. And during the end phase of the turn, destroy that monster fusion summoned by that effect, and if all the fusion materials were used for the fusion summon in your graveyard, you can special summon all of them. So again, it's a decent card, it's a decent fusion card. I just wish you could still activate it even if you controlled monsters. The restriction kind of sucks, but again, this helps to get the Melodious lock off. So if you send the right ones, you can pretty much get the lock where they can't die by battle card effects, so you kind of Melodious lock your opponent, which is pretty nice. Then we've got one Fortissimo. Once per turn, you can target one Melodious monster you control. It gains 800 attack into the next standby phase, even if it leaves the field. And you can send this card to the graveyard, and it acts as a polymerization. So you can fusion summon one Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials, which is pretty handy. Then we got the double first movement solo. I remember, like, this card used to be a little bit pricey, but then it kind of just dropped. I think it was a bit of hype. I don't know why. But anyway, I only played 2 because we play the ties, and ties kind of fills that void, and it can conflict. That's why I cut it down to 2. But basically, it just, if you control no monsters, you special summon one level 4 or lower Melodious monster from your hand or deck. But you can only activate one once per turn, and you can't special summon monsters except for Melodious monsters, which isn't a problem. Then we've got the one downbeat, again pretty much same as Transmodify, one Monster Reborn, and one Valhalla, the Hall of the Fallen. Free special summon, who can complain? Then the only traps I play is the double Melodious Illusion. I like this. I don't see a lot of builds playing this, but I like this. But basically, you target one Melodious monster you control that turn. It becomes unaffected by your opponent's spell and traps, and it can make a second attack during each battle phase. So Illusion, I like Illusion. Gets past like battle traps and anything annoying like that of that sort of nature. So that's going to round out the whole main deck. Okay, onto the extra deck. I play the double Bloom Prima, the Melodious Choir. So basically, she gains 300 attack for each fusion material used for its summon. It can make 2 attacks during each battle phase, and if this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Melodious monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, so she gives you that recursion. And then we've got double Bloom Diva, the Melodious Choir. She can't die by battle or card effects, and also you take no battle damage from any attacks involving her. And if this card battles a special summon monster, off damage calc, you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between the original attack of the opponent's monster and this card. And if you do, you blow that monster up. So she's like a flame wingman, and she blows it up. So it's pretty nice. And then we've got the triple. How do I pronounce this? I said it before, but I got it wrong. Is it Scaberta, the Melodious Maestra? So triple of her. So 2 Melodious monsters during either player's turn. You can target up to 3 cards in anyone's graveyard, banish them, and if you do, she gains 200 attack for each banished. But you can only use that effect once while she's on the face. Once while she's face up on the field. Really nice to use in circumstances. So she's like a DD Crow basically, essentially. But anyway, continuing on with the lineup. Then I've got the XYZ, so we got the one Tsukiyomi, one Exton Knight, one Starlight Paladynamo, then the Lynx, one Unicorn, Cerberus, and the Phoenix. And then we got the double Hippo Shinigami for the attack boost to, of course, raise the attacks. And then, of course, it works well with the Lynx and the Melodious monsters. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the main deck, extra deck, and the whole profile. So pretty much, that's it pretty much. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course, the team. Any suggestions, please leave them down in the comment section. Make sure you check out those links. And of course, that's pretty much it for the video. See you folks next time.